Come closer. A little bit more. Perfect. I have exciting news for you. You asked for it and you got it. Your favorite breakfast show, Your View, will be going to 2 hours. We're going to have in-depth analysis of the newspaper review and more conversations on the hot topics. The ladies of Your View and I will be stirring up our guests to get an in-depth into all the various topics, and you, our viewers, will have the opportunity to call in and share your views. After all, it's your view. Join us on Your View, 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. for a fantastic conversation. Don't miss it. Come closer. A little bit more. Perfect. I have exciting news for you. You asked for it and you got it. Your favorite breakfast show, Your View, will be going to 2 hours. We're going to have in-depth analysis of the newspaper review and more conversations on the hot topics. The ladies of Your View and I will be stirring up our guests to get an in-depth into It's Open House Thursday on Your View. Welcome to the show. I am Marital Afolabi Brown. As always, I have the ladies with me. Hello, Mariam Longe. How you doing?
I'm
internationally
fine,
published author.
Yes, just remembered my title today.
Is it when you're in front of me? That thing just comes ahead. What's up? How are you?
I'm good. I need your advice, guys. Okay. So my son, see, he loves to play football and he's so good at it. That's aside. But when it comes to like all the other sports activities like running and whatever, he's not really good at it. And every time I've been proud of him, he will participate even though he never comes first or second. Do you understand? But I'm proud that he participates. But this morning he said to me, Mommy, I'm not going to do it this year. And he says, and he said it, you know, in such a mature way. He said, Mommy, 2 facts. This is how he said it, 2 facts. 1, I am not a very fast runner. 2, it's not going to change in these few days to the inter-house sports. And he does not want to participate. But I'm encouraging him to, because I don't want him to just be on the sidelines. I don't want to raise a child that thinks it's okay to be on the sidelines. I want someone that
I think you should be proud that he could have this. He was analyzed the situation and said, "Listen, I'm not good at this. I have done it." So you have demonstrated the participatory that you want him to do. Participate, which he has done, and he's saying that, okay, you know what? Let me sit back. No, encourage him to cheer on his friends. Encourage him to swear. Encourage him to. I would say that. Encourage him to cheer them on. Yeah, you are the psychologist and
Okay, so I know that kids, they love pleasure. They don't like any form of pain. And you try to explain to him that pain is a part of the process. You need that speed in the football pitch. So glamorize that speed that he will be getting and training himself on for his football play. He's going to play better when he can run faster, when he can dribble faster. So he needs to train himself in that one that he does not like so that he can do better in the one he loves.
Oh, my Lord, that's a professional. High five.
Yes.
I used to be this matter.
Yes.
And you can give him rewards.
What he's saying right now is that there's inter-house sports coming up.
Okay.
He's going to be, yes, he does not want to run.
He can leave the inter-house sports.
That's the one we're talking about
but
now.
He should still train for running.
Should he participate in the inter-house sports and run? That's what we're talking about.
For the competition, no, if he doesn't want to leave it. But he needs to train on that subsequently.
It's not always about winning. Sometimes just participate. It's better to be on the pitch than to always be the one in the sidelines.
My own son said he must be a cheerleader. Because I didn't never.
You?
You know those kind of friends, and I did it so well in school. In fact, I should have gotten an award for that.
Cheerleader.
Tope is not here, so I'm filling in for Tope today.
Yeah, thank you.
I have a meeting this morning, but I'll just delay it a few hours for her. The bridge, you know, I talked about.
Yes, you posted it
yesterday. They removed the truck and left the bridge.
So I'm trying to fix it. Right? Let's give them a feeding.
The state
Some
is a
streets should have been cordoned off
Yeah.
to stop people from using
walking
it.
past.
There should be a practical, safe way
Yeah.
of using under that bridge.
Yeah.
I passed under it, and while driving, I looked up. I was like, So we can't wait for
People who are
something
not used
to go
to
wrong.
the fact that that place is damaged might walk into
They
it.
will not
so
know it. We can't even wait for something to go wrong. We
Yeah.
can't have one of the pillars or platform that was built on that bridge to fall
off.
before we think something.
For
is
those
wrong.
driving
I
underneath
expected
or
to see
walking.
some safety
Yeah.
signs.
Yeah,
on
but
the
there's
things.
none.
let me come to the
Cordon it
BPC
off.
I'm
quickly.
good. I'm good. I'm blessed. I'm happy. My training is on Saturday. I'm really excited. People are trickling in one after the other and coming in. So I'm ready. My slides are ready. I worked all through yesterday because I was off. I used the opportunity. And then I had a one-on-one coaching session with a client. It was quite illuminating because when we started having the conversations, there were a lot of things that she was struggling with that she didn't even know till we started having that conversation. And at the end of the day, we had lunch. She felt really relieved. And I was happy. I was happy because she now knew the sort of things to work on to do better in those areas that she highlighted.
Yeah, that's always a good thing when you see the results of what you've done.
doing.
Let's
How
go
are
on a
you
break.
doing? You're not
Oh, we're
telling
out of
us.
time, honey.
Oh my God.
Let's go on a break. Please we come back. Go to the front pages of the paper. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Okay, let's start with the punch this morning. El Rufai, all the APC governors lose out. Buni meets Buhari and returns today. Most port scanners are obsolete, says Customs CG. Soldier beats Ondo 69-year-old artisan to death over 7,000 naira. There were marks of injuries on slain OAU student's body, says pathologist. Tinubu berates presidential aspirants over defection cells bid at National Assembly. Ondo shoemaker claiming self-defense stabs landlord's son to death.
Can you imagine?
Yoruba Nation, Akintoye, others ask court to stop Ekiti and Osun polls. National Assembly proposing criminalizing illegal connection. Meter bypasses NERC. Blackout, FG blames gas shortage, vandalism, OK's 40 billion naira for discos. Finally, NJC places judge on watch list, warns another for misconduct. Okay, let's start with which story?
The human interest?
Yes, please.
So a shoemaker, Sikiru Owolabi, has been arrested for allegedly killing a 48-year-old man, Bolanle Adilewa, in Ijomimo area of Akure, Ondo State capital. According to the story, they said they had an argument which degenerated into a fight, and Owolabi was said to have stabbed the victim to death. While he was taken to, so the victim died on his way to the hospital, and while he was taken into custody, he confessed that they were having an argument, and the victim took something to hit him with. In self-defense, he took a bottle and stabbed him. So the case has been moved to, I think, the state CID for more investigations.
So the custom boss was addressing the passing out parade of cadets at Ikeja, and he said that, that all the nation's ports had scanners that had gone obsolete. When he joined the service, he said most of their scanners had gone obsolete, but he worked with the Ministry of Finance, and that they have 3 mobile scanners now that are working, and that they are looking at getting 135 scanners nationwide to boost border security. He also talked about the agency's vehicle identification number for valuation of imported vehicles, saying that this has come to stay, that the freight forwarders were the ones who were complaining on the system not working. And so decided these vehicle identification numbers and the e-customs platform, which is his baby, and that these 2 systems have come to stay and that they're not going anywhere. He's hoping that they improve on them, and anytime soon the port will receive the 135 more scanners.
Okay.
But the freight forwarders went on strike, and this sort of stalled activities at the ports because of the e-customs and the vehicle identification number issue.
Okay,
So I think they should just iron out whatever differences they have.
Okay, let's speak about it.
Yeah, we have this, the National Electricity Regulatory Commission has asked consumers to know what their rights and obligations within the sector is, and that this will help strengthen business relationship between the discos and consumers. The Commissioner for Consumer Affairs, her name is Aisha Mohammed. She also said that the Commission has developed the meter asset provider and national mass metering regulation to effectively close the metering gap. But she also had, other information. She said it has been reported by distribution companies that at least 4 in every 10 prepaid meter has been, tampered with, bypassed, things like that. And so there are going to be sanctions going forward that NERC is putting forward. And even the National Assembly is considering criminalizing the bypassing and tampering of meters, so illegal connections to bypass, metering. So for Nigerians, be careful when you are found. There's no more business as usual, just shouting. They will actually lock you up.
As of 3 or 4 years ago, where I had a bypass issue, I had to pay 70,000 naira.
Good.
So I'm surprised that, I thought it was still...
Maybe now they will make it a jail term or something.
Yeah.
It's $500,000 now.
Oh, for real? This is about 3-4 years ago. Okay, so Yoruba Nation, right, 18 Yoruba Nation self-determination activists have filed a suit, 2 separate suits, one in Ado-Ekiti and the other in Osun State, stopping the forthcoming governorship election in both states. Their suit is on account that the current 1999 constitution is illegal, invalid, and of no referendum effect because there was no referendum that was conducted before it was enacted. So if they get this, if this suit is allowed to go through, successful, then they are bought, but I'm worried that they are bought the elections. It's going to affect all the entire system we have. So it's a really ambitious lawsuit, but we'll see how
it turns out.
Let's move on to the nation. Buhari to APC governors, Buni remains party chair. Senators, reps pledge support for Tinubu. PDP NEC fails to okay zoning. FG to stop payment for unused electricity. Yoruba Nation at Jesus files suits to stop Ekiti and Osun polls. Malami, we are seeking option on Electoral Act. Lautech alumni reject Makinde's move to rename Varsity. Okay.
Let me take the Alumni Association of Ladoke Akintola University, Lautech Ogbomosho. So they're rejecting the change of name from Lautech to Lao. And the governor of the state, they said since the university has become, Oyo State has sole ownership of their university now. They are looking to change it to Lao. In fact, the bill has passed second reading at the National Assembly. And the reason for the change, the governor says, is to allow for the university to also provide other humanities, he said, courses in humanities and other fields. So with Lautech, it was, technology, but now it will be able to provide all, other courses as well under humanities. And the association, that's the alumni, is saying, well, this is going to cause a lot of problems for those of us who have left the university. It will cause a lot of problems for us at work because the names will now change. And I don't know if that is a valid concern. I don't know.
Wow. It is.
So
try
the certificate of
people wanted to turn them to Moshood Abiola University.
All right, so which other story?
The government stopped payment for unused electricity. So the chairman of the Nigerian Electricity Regulatory Commission, Sanusi Garba, says that he was trying to explain the 1.6 trillion naira debt, saying that these were the debts for unused electricity that they're asking the government to pay on behalf of the discos. He says that this is a totally infrastructure matter, it's a technical issue. Their inability to pay is also a technical issue. Then he comes and says that if a generation company has effective power purchase agreements that provides for payment of a certain level of capacity, then there is an obligation to pay. And that a number of generation companies, however, have no effective contract that guarantees the payment of the so-called unutilized capacity. Then says the good thing is that we are gradually migrating to a point where the generation plants will have the capacity to pay, to capacity payment being somehow delivered along the value chain. I'm hoping that this means that the infrastructure that we need is installed to distribute it so that we don't have unused and then we then have to pay for the unused.
All right,
But if we don't distribute it, don't push the burden on the masses by
consumers.
increasing tariffs. I also mentioned that tariffs will continue to go up and come down based on factors like, foreign exchange increase, and if it drops, hopefully it will drop. Doesn't mean that it always go
nothing
up.
ever drops. Prices never drop.
Never comes down.
Anyway, let's go on a break. When we come back, we continue with the review. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
How we're doing, guys? Is the makeup in progress? Makeup check. Are the scripts on the prompter? Script check. Are we set in the PCR? All tip in place? PCR check. Clock is ticking, time is racing, lights are. Plans all set. 120 minutes of hot entertainment. We are ready for the mission. How we're doing, guys?
Come closer. A little bit more. Perfect. I have exciting news for you. You asked for it and you got it. Your favorite breakfast show, Your View, will be going to 2 hours. We're going to have in-depth analysis of the newspaper review and more conversations on the hot topics. The ladies of Your View and I will be stirring up our guests to get an in-depth into all the various topics, and you, our viewers, will have the opportunity to call in and share your views. After all, it's your view. Join us on Your View, 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. for a fantastic conversation. Don't miss it.
At TVC Communications, we're all about our audience. Millions of viewers, listeners, and readers every day all around Nigeria.
Our 2 TV stations are among the most watched in Nigeria.
TVC News is our award-winning 24-hour national and international news channel headquartered here in Lagos, broadcasting live from our custom-built state-of-the-art news headquarters.
TVC, the top-rated family entertainment channel, is the place for fun, music, and information. With our breakfast show, Wake Up Nigeria, the all-female chat show, Your View, the best soaps and dramas from Nolly, Bolly, and Hollywood, music and entertainment blast, courtesy E-Splash, and of course, award-winning news and current affairs. It is all here.
With news bureau and studios around the country and the ability to go live anywhere, anytime, we are first for breaking news in Nigeria. Awarded the NMMA TV Station of the Year, TVC News is the station of choice for news that is first, accurate, balanced, and reliable every time. TVC and TVC News watched by over 4.5 million people in Nigeria every day on terrestrial, DTH, DTT, OTT, and available to viewers in the UK on Sky TV. Watch all of our world-class programs on TV, online, and on our app. TVC and TVC News, the best entertainment and news for Nigeria on TV and online.
And when you can't watch us, listen to us. 102.3 Max FM Lagos and 90.9 Max FM Abuja are now ranked among the most listened to radio stations in Nigeria.
Thanks for staying with us. We're still reviewing the papers. BC had a story, Nation?
Yes, so members of the People's Democratic Party, PDP, said they will wait for more time to know when the region which region will produce the party's presidential candidates. They had the National Executive Committee meeting yesterday, which also ended without them deciding whether to zone or not. And at the end of the day, the party resolved to set up a 37-member committee to make recommendations on the issue of zoning. And the members of the committee will be raised from the 6 geopolitical zones. They'll be given just 2 weeks to submit their reports, then they can move on from there. However, the fees for expression of interest and nominations for all forms of executive positions are out. And I want to quickly say what they are. So for the presidential candidates, it's at 40 million to 5 million will be to express your intention, and then 35 million will be for the ticket itself. I think the fees for governorship is 20 million, 1 million to express, that's 21 million. Senatorial aspirants will pay 3.5 million. The 3 million is for the ticket, 500,000 naira to express. They also went ahead to say that for House of Assembly, you pay 1.5 million, 1 million for nomination, 500,000 for expression. And they are giving a 25% discount to every young person from 25 years of age to 30 years who is interested in any of the positions.
All right, so the presidential aspirant, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, has taken his campaign to the National Assembly. He was there yesterday where he said he's the most competent Nigerian in the race with a proven track record in both the private and public sectors. According to him, he's been able to grow Lagos from the dirtiest city in Africa to a mega city. And the president, he also said that he was seeking to take over from Buhari, not to step on his toes, but to actually take over from him. He added that he was trusted with increasing the internal revenue of Lagos State from 600 million naira, and right now it's about 40 billion. And that's it. And he has the most experience to do that. And he said also, democracy is not adversarial. It is when you have both the collaboration of the legislative and executive. And yes, he was also praising the legislative for the job they've done so far, saying that he's seeking their support on his ambition, that he has already spoken to the president, and the president already said, we'll support you the best we can. So
while you were reading this, a song came to mind. Everybody blow your trumpet.
At this time, he has better blow, blow your trumpet.
Blow it for you.
Because interestingly, there's a lot of things we've blown, but nobody really said anything. Moving on now to Daily Sun. PDP to pick presidential candidates on May 29th. We talked about that. Senate passes Money Laundering Act Amendment Bill. Ohaneze insists Southeast will not accept the vice president's slot. Marketers Airlines dialogue over aviation fuel price hike. Buni gets Buhari's full backing. Lekki toll gate reopening holds as scheduled, says LCC. Judicial misconduct, NJC wants 2 judges, places 1 on watch list, and the other recommends appointment of 6 court heads. Government explains national grid collapse, and Osun Ikitiguba polls Yoruba group moves to stop election and sues INEC and Attorney General Federation. Okay, which story are we starting with here?
NJC. So the NJC has issued 2 warning letters to 2 justices. One is the Justice Muawiya Baba Idris of the High Court in the FCT. He's supposed to have, not conformed with some of the court procedures in the orders that he signed. And also the other is Justice M. Ladan of the High Court of Kaduna State, also found for doing something not in line with the procedures also. And they also found, recommended in positive news, 15 successful candidates as heads of courts, and the list of all the heads of courts made the news also. So that's it.
Yeah, so Major Oil Marketers Association of Nigeria, MOMAN, have opened talks with domestic airlines to end the crisis in supply of aviation fuel to the industry. The House of Representatives tried to intervene alongside the Nigerian Midstream and Downstream Petroleum Regulatory Authority and the plight of passengers on domestic routes. So the Executive Secretary of MOMA, Mr. Clement Isong, is saying that this crisis is caused because of the international fuel prices and also because of the invasion of Ukraine by Russia, and the fact that the federal government is paying quite a lot to subsidize fuel for us. But he's saying that this too shall pass, and if it's possible that the marketers find a way to get forex so that it makes things easy for them, that very soon the prices will balance and we'll be able to have.
Okay, I think we brought him on one of the leaders yesterday on the show, so he also reiterated that. Go ahead.
Yeah, the Senate yesterday has passed the Money Laundering Act 2011 Amendment Bill. So let me just read in summary, the amendments will provide for an effective and comprehensive legal framework to invigorate the fight against money laundering with emphasis on prevention, provide penalties, expanded the scope of supervisory bodies, provide protection for the employees of various anti-graft institutions, and approve the establishment of the Special Control Unit against money laundering under the EFCC. And this unit of the EFCC would be charged with the effective implementation of money laundering laws in relation to designated non-financial businesses or professions in Nigeria. So, in essence, we're taking this war against money laundering seriously.
Okay. So the Lagos State government has said that the reopening of the LCC toll gate cannot be avoided because obviously the company LCC is owing both local and foreign lenders quite a bit of money. According to the Commissioner for Information and Strategy, Mr. Gbenga Motoshe, said that local lenders are being owed by 11.6 billion, while foreign lenders have been owed $31.1 million. And they said toll gate, what they've done so far, they've gone to speak with all the various stakeholders, as the OBAs, the community transporters, the resident associations of that area, to have a meeting with them to explain to them why there was a need to actually reopen the toll gate, that they expect that there wouldn't be any resistance at all. So everything is scheduled to open April 1st, as agreed. Moving on quickly to Vanguard, APC, Buhari fires Bello, says Boni to conduct convention. Strike, NANS gives FG ASU 2 weeks deadline to open varsities. PDP set to hold presidential primary in May. Anambra upbeat as Soludo takes over today. Electoral Act amendments request FG to consider all options available, says Malami. NJC places judge on watch list, okays appointment of 9 judges. British High Commission refutes claims of students' work family visa suspension. An energy crisis, Buhari apologizes why crisis may linger by industry leaders. Okay, which story?
Let me take the British High Commission. So I took the story yesterday where it was reported that the British High Commission was suspending visa applications to the UK. That's those who were let me get that right, student work and family visas for Nigerian applicants. But the British High Commission has refuted that claim. He said that is not what they're saying. That what they're saying is that there's a reprioritization of resources in response to the humanitarian crisis in Ukraine. And so what that means is that all the services, that the UK VI expedited, added value, priority, and super priority visa services are the ones suspended, not that you cannot apply for any of the student, family, whatever visas, just that the special applications are put on hold because of the humanitarian crisis in Ukraine.
Oh, okay. So in Anambra today, whoop, whoop, today they're swearing in the governor, Soludo. You know, we'll be celebrating him.
Mariah's governor.
After Sawolu, please. Yeah. But yeah, so we're so excited for the people of Anambra State today to be swearing in their governor, who is a professor of economics and consultant to many world bodies. This is a man who knows, and we're expecting that indeed he knows.
Please don't fall our
expectations are so high. Please, but obviously, as expected, he didn't want this ostentatious event that they use, that people just
fantastic.
You want to calm, cool, So the celebration is going to be very, very minimal. I think they were very, very selective in who was going to be attending this event. And also afterwards, I read that he's going to drive to Okpoko in Ogbaro local government area, which is one of the worst slums in the country. He promised that during his electioneering campaign that he would clean up that area and make it habitable. So that'll be one of his first stops after his inauguration. Listen, Governor Soludo, we wish you the best. We're rooting for you. We're rooting for people for Anambra State. We pray that this indeed is the governor you've all been waiting for, and the governor that will be able to celebrate. Yeah, so
it promises to be, but I love the fact that inauguration straight to work.
Yeah.
Usually the old day we are still
dancing, celebrating. There's work to be done, honey. So I'm so happy for you. Congratulations to Governor Soludo. I can't wait to have him on the set, Yeah, it's good to have him. Okay, Nigerian Tribune. Are you sure there's no story we missed?
No, don't worry, we can take it here.
Can take it somewhere else, okay. APC crisis, let's find a story we have not taken. Nobody took Buni. Buni has assumed office, so Buhari has given him the approval. So we'll be talking about it for a while. Anyway, NJC issues warning to 2 judges. I took the Ekiti story already. PDP opens presidential race, fixes 40 million naira for forms. Soludo to be inaugurated as an Anambra governor. There's no other story now. FG wants TikTok to suspend accounts of Nigerians promoting fake news and rituals. NANS give FG ASU 2 weeks to end strike. Okay.
So the National Association of Nigerian Students, NANS, have given the federal government and ASU 2 weeks deadline to resolve the differences and return students to the classroom. You know that they were really upset that ASU had to extend the strike that they had. And they have said that they are going to be giving them this time from the 25th of March to the 28th. If nothing is done, they are going to go all out on the streets with their mattresses, their foams. They'll be cooking on the streets. They'll make sure that they block everything because this is really affecting them.
So
and
sad.
they are also calling on religious leaders and other institutions, especially former presidents of NANS, to come out and appeal on behalf of the students so that they can get back to class.
Hopefully,
yes. Let me take the TikTok.
Let
me take the TikTok story. So the Minister for Communications and Digital Economy, Professor Issa Pantami, he met with a delegation from TikTok, and although he was represented by the DG, National Information Technology Development and Agency, and all what they were talking about was, concerns on how social media is being used, especially in this case, TikTok. He says that there's need for TikTok to be more transparent in what they do with the data that they collect, and that also with their algorithm design, it's important that they are transparent with that as well. He talked about things that are illegal offline should also be illegal online. So some people are able to carry out crimes online and get away with it because there's no proper, regulations. And then he said that he also, of course, talked about what was done with Twitter. So he was asking that an office with TikTok also should be open here.
Wow.
And, just so many other things that were important, especially when it comes to crimes. He's talked about people using the videos to promote fake news, ritual killings, and things like that. So very good conversation. And let's say, and then TikTok on their part said that they have heard, and then we'll hear back from them.
They don't just hear.
I'm happy about that.
They're promoting ritualism online now. The way they do it now is bringing the abnormal to public, and before you know it, it becomes acceptable as normal because people see it all the time. So please, they need to do something.
Let's go on a break. When we come back, move on to our sponsors.
At TVC Communications, we're all about our audience. Millions of viewers, listeners, and readers every day all around Nigeria.
Our 2 TV stations are among the most watched in Nigeria.
TVC News is our award-winning 24-hour national and international news channel headquartered here in Lagos, broadcasting live from our custom-built state-of-the-art news headquarters.
TVC, the top-rated family entertainment channel, is the place for fun, music, and information. With our breakfast show, Wake Up Nigeria, the all-female chat show, Your View, the best soaps and dramas from Nolly, Bolly, and Hollywood, music and entertainment blast, courtesy E-Splash, and of course, award-winning news and current affairs. It is all here.
With news bureau and studios around the country and the ability to go live anywhere, anytime, we are first for breaking news in Nigeria. Awarded the NMMA TV Station of the Year, TVC News is the station of choice for news that is first, accurate, balanced, and reliable every time. TVC and TVC News watched by over 4.5 million people in Nigeria every day on terrestrial, DTH, DTT, OTT, and available to viewers in the UK on Sky TV. Watch all of our world-class programs on TV, online, and on our app. TVC and TVC News, the best entertainment and news for Nigeria on TV and online.
And when you can't watch us, listen to us. 102.3 Max FM Lagos and 90.9 Max FM Abuja are now ranked among the most listened to radio stations in Nigeria.
Now, with over 1.5 million listeners every day, we're the people's favorite radio station. Best hit music, best on-air talent. Max 102.3 hit music for Lagos and Max 90.9 hit music for Abuja. We are your home for that fun, entertainment, and hit music.
In Lagos, TVC, our leading family entertainment TV channel, has a 47% market share. But this is just the start of our journey, as we plan to add even more services to entertain and inform our ever-growing audience. Thanks for being part of the TVC communication story.
TVC Communications, we're all about our audience. Millions of viewers, listeners, and readers every day all around Nigeria.
Our 2 TV stations are among the most watched in Nigeria.
TVC News is our award-winning 24-hour national and international news channel headquartered here in Lagos, broadcasting live from our custom-built state-of-the-art news headquarters.
TVC, the top-rated family entertainment channel, is the place for fun, music, and information. With our breakfast show, Wake Up Nigeria, the all-female chat show, Your View, the best soaps and dramas from Nolly, Bolly, and Hollywood, music and entertainment blast, courtesy E-Splash, and of course, award-winning news and current affairs. It is all here.
With news bureau and studios around the country and the ability to go live anywhere, anytime, we are first for breaking news in Nigeria. Awarded the NMMA TV Station of the Year, TVC News is the station of choice for news that is first, accurate, balanced, and reliable every time. TVC and TVC News watched by over 4.5 million people in Nigeria every day on terrestrial, DTH, DTT, OTT, and available to viewers in the UK on Sky TV. Watch all of our world-class programs on TV, online, and on our app. TV.
Thanks for staying with us. So joining us on this segment is the Managing Director, Pay Attitude Global, Mr. Babatunde Okene. He's one of the sponsors of Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. He'll be speaking on what informed the decision to sponsor one of Nigeria's most watched game shows. In the country. Welcome to the show, sir.
Thank you very much.
Good to have you. So, sponsoring Who Wants to Be a Millionaire cannot be an easy feat. What exactly came up with? How did you come up with that idea, and what exactly was the objective?
Okay, so first and foremost, let me start with the objective. Basically, we want to give back to our stakeholders. If you understand our stakeholders very well, you will equally understand that you need to make them happy. And who are our stakeholders? Both owners, both customers, both clients, Nigerians as a whole. We've been in existence for 9 years, and of these 9 years, Nigerians have supported us. So it is time to give back to those who have supported us.
So let's start with who is Pay Attitude Global? What do you do exactly? Let's start with that.
Okay, so Pay Attitude is a payment scheme. So who are our competitors? Maybe that will help in terms of building the understanding of who we are and what we do. So we're a payment scheme. So our competitors are people like MasterCard, Visa, Verve, China Union Pay. The only difference with us is that we decided to come up with something that is not card factor. So we decided to bring together all the USSD, ability to pay with your phone. So if you have your phone number, you don't need anything else again. You can pay on the ATM, you can pay on the POS, you can pay on the web, you can do person-to-person transfer, you can withdraw from the agency just with your phone number. So I'm saying you already have your phone number today, no need to get card. You can go to all these channels and still use your phone. That's what we are in Pay Attitude. And we are licensed by the Central Bank of Nigeria.
Fantastic. That's awesome. So, this Who Wants to Be a Millionaire had sponsors, and after a while it was rested. Why did you decide to pick up on something that was already rested?
Okay, so first and foremost, as I said, we want to give back to our stakeholders, and we believe that if you empower, if you educate, and then if you entertain, you'll be able to give back to those people. So how do you bring these three things together? You know, you stand to win 20 million naira. Imagine if somebody wins 20 million naira, you'll have economically empowered that person for a very long time. And in doing that too, the business he will set up will have ripple effects on various people over the country. And then we say educate. If you are able to bring up the knowledge gap in Nigeria, you increase their capability to be able to compete. And when you have people competing at different levels, you begin to bring together the economic power of the country and begin to turn the country around. And definitely, too, when you are doing that, you will have families and friends sitting down, watching the program. program for 52 weeks. That is entertainment. The world in itself is a stage.
Right.
And when there is a stage and people can showcase their ability to be able to win something that can economically and radically change them, then you begin to have impact on the country. So we want to give back, and that's the way we think we want to give back to the country.
Awesome.
Okay, so you know that brand sponsorships like this for shows like this would bring about, you know, visibility for the global, sorry, Pay Attitude Global. And that has to be your target, to bring up visibility to that. So what's your target concerning the numbers that you, in the next 1 year, that you hope will get on this scheme?
So as I said earlier on, first and foremost, our focus is to give back to our stakeholders, to Nigerians who have supported us for the past 9 years. So that's the first focus, rather than the numbers. So we equally want to reach out to everybody. We want everybody to know us.
Who's your target audience for this service?
Anybody that has a phone. It doesn't matter either you're high or low. You have a phone number. The beauty of this is the transaction.
But in the 1 year, in the 1 year projection,
so in the 1 year projection, as I said, is not the number, but rather how many Nigerians can we educate? How many Nigerians can we empower?
Okay.
And that's why we are looking, and that's why equally too we change the pricing from 10 million to 20 million.
Oh.
And the beauty of it again is that it's not just only the 20 million. If you don't get to the stage of winning the 20 million, you can win other prizes. There are additional prizes that can be won. And these are 52 weeks engagement we are talking about. We are talking about 52 millionaires. So the first thing you should look at is, because first and foremost, it's not everybody that will get on the train from day one. So you can't begin to talk about the numbers. Most important for us is first and foremost building the loyalty.
Okay, let's get to the crux of the matter. How does this work? How do people get, how do we subscribe to
How do you even plan to promote the brand portfolio on the show? How do you plan to do it?
Okay, so for us, first and foremost, again, I'll repeat, as you participate in Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, you participate on the platform of Pay Attitude. So you begin to use it and understand it in your day-to-day business. So when you play, you'll understand that, oh, so this is the way I can send money to you. This is the way I can request money from you. You begin to understand how it works.
How user-friendly.
How user-friendly it is. That's the most important thing. And then you'll be wondering, okay, so will this be this difficult? As you rightly ask, how easy is it? No. You know, today people use their USSD. You dial *569. And straight away, the first item you see there is Play Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. Today, even in the rural areas, people dial to either buy recharge, so they understand how to use the USSD platform already. What we're doing basically is a little bit extending that to use it for the various other issues that you like to use it for. So when you dial *569 or you dial *70006 *20#, or the USSD code of your banks. So people are used to dialing the various USSD, 894, 737, 919, 901. They are used to dialing those things. So when you dial those things straight away, you see Play Who Wants to Be a Millionaire.
For real?
And
So
then
it makes
you
it
go through
easier.
So it makes it easier.
So are you saying that on the Who Wants to Be a Millionaire that we see on TV will still show, right? The same show, but we can then participate from audience using this, your
Yes, the attitude. So the first question you ask me is, how do you participate? So there are 3 levels. So you want to be on the hot seat itself. You have to play the first menu, which is Play Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. You'll be asked some certain questions, very easy question for you to answer. You answer and then you submit your number of entries. As many number of entries that you submit gives you better chance of qualifying to be on the stage, to qualify for Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. Then there are other items too. You can sit down at home and participate. You'll be asked a question. If you answer correctly, you will form a pool that will qualify for the various prizes for the week. So there is the weekly show that you can participate in. There is the Pay Attitude show too, or the Pay Attitude play too that you can participate in and win various other gifts and prizes along the line. So the participation is both for those sitting at home and for those who want to be on the hot seat and then ask a question.
This is certainly a revenue generation drive for Pay Attitude. So what's your projected revenue target for 1 year?
Okay.
For the next 1 year.
As I said, we are not looking at the revenue place. And again, if you look at it, okay, so the show starts this month, in the month of March. Not many people will. So you can't quantify the amount people will pay to watch the show. I mean, 200 naira to you can't quantify that to 20 million that will win on the first one. So for the first year, as I said, most likely the second year is not necessarily about revenue. It's only about loyalty and the awareness and the
Can we tweak it a bit so that if you're in your house and you play some games, you can win some money?
Okay, again, the beauty of it all is there is a lot of audit trail on this. So it's not something that I, even as MD Attitude, can manipulate the process of how you play and how you qualify and how you win. So again, this has been, you know, the brand ownership of Who Wants to Be a Millionaire is Sony Picture from the UK. So they audit and monitor all these processes, process of paying, process of auditing. So all these things are up to best international practice. So it's not something you can convert in my house. If I have that, then maybe only those people from my village will.
I want to localize it.
You want to
we have to
localize
wrap
it.
up. Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, so I want to applaud for this because this particular game has been missed by Nigerians. It was a game that a lot of people needed to read and be up to date, you know, passing information, getting more knowledge, which is what we advise most of these brands to do, because there's this agenda that we have, especially we on this table, to promote things that educate and not just useless entertainment. So this is a step in the good direction. We hope that you continue and you don't rest after some time.
Well, as I said, you know, if your objectives are clearly spelled out from the beginning, and I'll repeat, you want to empower, you want to educate, you want to entertain. And this is a 52 weeks engagement. If you do it rightly, yes, everybody have their own different definition of what entertainment means to them. But I honestly believe in this Nigeria that there are those that education is the kind of entertainment that we should promote. So we believe we will get there.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you very much.
When is the start date?
The start date is going to be actually this coming Sunday.
This coming Sunday. Oh, okay. So we'll look out for it. Well done. All right, let's go on a break. When we come back, move on to our hot topics of the day. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
You won't go shake your body. Instead, they make it calm down. If the farm say it's happy, you want to grow 6 packs in a day. I beg you not to pass your power. You want to show yourself,
Whatever your size, find it with the new Airtel data plan.
At TVC Communications, we're all about our audience. Millions of viewers, listeners, and readers every day all around Nigeria.
Our 2 TV stations are among the most watched in Nigeria.
TVC News is our award-winning 24-hour national and international news channel headquartered here in Lagos, broadcasting live from our custom-built state-of-the-art news headquarters.
TVC, the top-rated family entertainment channel, is the place for fun, music, and information. With our breakfast show, Wake Up Nigeria, the all-female chat show, Your View, the best soaps and dramas from Nolly, Bolly, and Hollywood, music and entertainment blast, courtesy E-Splash, and of course, award-winning news and current affairs. It is all here.
With news bureau and studios around the country and the ability to go live anywhere, anytime, we are first for breaking news in Nigeria. Awarded the NMMA TV Station of the Year, TVC News is the station of choice for news that is first, accurate, balanced, and reliable every time. TVC and TVC News watched by over 4.5 million people in Nigeria every day on terrestrial, DTH, DTT, OTT, and available to viewers in the UK on Sky TV. Watch all of our world-class programs on TV, online, and on our app. TVC and TVC News, the best entertainment and news for Nigeria, on TV and online.
And when you can't watch us, listen to us. 102.3 Max FM Lagos and 90.9 Max FM Abuja are now ranked among the most listened to radio stations in Nigeria.
Now, with over 1.5 million listeners every day, we're the people's favorite radio station. Best hit music, best on-air talent. Max 102.3 hit music for Lagos and Max 90.9 hit music for Abuja. We are your home for that fun, entertainment, and hit music.
In Lagos, TVC, our leading family entertainment TV channel, has a 47% market share. But this is just the start of our journey, as we plan to add even more services to entertain and inform our ever-growing audience. Thanks for being part of the TVC communication story.
How we're doing, guys? Is the makeup in progress? Makeup
check.
Are the scripts on the prompter? Script
check.
Are we set in the VCR? All team in place? VCR
check. Clock is ticking, time is racing, lights on. Plans all set. 120 minutes of hot entertainment. We are ready for the mission.
And that's why the TVC Staff Crash was put together, to help parents just like me get those professional childcare services that they need. Come on, let's go, let's go. The TVC Staff Crash Baby Lounge team of professionals are here to help take a load off your mind. The TVC Staff Crash is a nursing mom support system, a toddler's safe haven, and a young learner's academy throughout the year. It's comfortable, convenient, and with competitive pricing for the modern parent. So, while they learn through play, you can go about getting your pay. The TVC Staff Crash, open to the public from 7 a.m. till 6 p.m.
Welcome home, Mom. Who's that girl?
The nurse they brought over from the capital. The poor thing. She doesn't know what she's gotten herself into.
She's too young. She must have zero experience.
Well, I mean, I'm glad she's young. She'll have more initiative, more energy. Plus, forgive me for saying so, but she's pretty easy on the eyes, huh? Hey, Amanda, come and have a drink with us, okay?
No.
Just try it. You're gonna love it. Relax, woman. We're not gonna bite you.
I knew it was you. Margarita. Why'd you come back, Margarita? Why, and why did you lie?
Margarita is dead, Victor. You hear me? They murdered her. The last night that we saw each other, she was killed. It was the Santa Cruz brothers. They raped me. Then they threw me away like I was a piece of garbage. So the reason I'm here is to finally get justice once and for all. I'm going to destroy their lives, one by one. So that when they hit rock bottom, they'll feel only pain and humiliation. Then they'll know how they made me feel. I came back to seek justice.
Get justice or love again. Amanda, 14 years wasn't long enough to forget.
Thanks for staying with us. So this matter we discussed sometime last week, it hasn't really left the social media scene. That's the matter concerning Cora Obidi. Now, the issue is that her husband has come out to really express his own hurts and pains that he has been through in this marriage. And it's important because sometimes when we define marriage in this part of the world, we make a look at African men, Nigerian men. This is how they are. This is what they do. And when you now see a foreign man say something, I'm thinking, okay, are they also having this kind of issue? So it was interesting to watch some of the things, or to read some of the things he said. According to him, and this is his own side of the story, so he's walking away from this marriage for his mental health and to become the best version of himself. According to him, he must set a healthy example for his children. He says he apologizes to all young men and women out there who saw their marriage as a perfect marriage. He also said that marriage, according to him, should be based on mutual love, respect, humility. I had to underline humility. We both need humility.
I don't understand.
Accountability, empathy, apologies, and most of all, effective communication to understand the other person's perspective.
Amen
so
to that.
we make it look as though it's only African men that say, you must be humble. You must be humble. But this is a foreigner saying, I need you to be humble, or he's saying there's an issue with humility. But it begs for a lot of conversation. Is it that the recipe for a successful marriage is universal, or is different according to cultures and norms and ethnic, religious differences? What exactly is this recipe universal? And I'd like to start with Bajili because I know you're looking at me. What are your thoughts about this man? This is a foreigner asking for mutual respect, accountability, apology, his mental health, and asking for humility. And even though they know the word, the meaning of the word.
Excuse me, what are you saying, Morayo? I think the recipe for a good marriage is universal because, when we see Oyibo people, when we watch some of these movies, we see the women, they are carrying their bags and all of that. When you live in that country, you realize that those people who do that are the very low class sort of people. When you go close to the elites in the society, the high class people, there's a reverence in their marriage. You see their children, they do things right, they go to the good schools, there's respect, there's love. You can feel that connect. And, I've mentioned it here before that my father attends the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, and they are basically in Utah. And you see respectable men and women who have been married for 30, 40, going to 50 years. Their kids are all grown, they have grandchildren, great-grandchildren, and you can sense the happiness. So what we see when we watch these movies are just those very low-class ones that we now try to emulate. When you go into the crux of their society, they dwell on respect, love. You see that reverence in that marriage. And so, for me, a lot of people, kept talking to this guy on social media, saying that you talk too much. Men also have to take care of their mental health issues. Men also need to be heard. We have raised our men to feel like you are the man. Stop talking. Stop crying. Don't show any form of emotion. And most of our men are dying silently in their marriages. Most of our men are going through horrible things in their... You need to hear. In fact, a few days ago, somebody, I don't want to mention the person, you guys know the person, came to our house in the middle of the night. He drove out. His wife got him upset. And then he drove out and he stays close to us and just came. By 11, 12, he was still discussing with my husband. I needed to sleep. I was waiting, God, which business are you people discussing in the middle of the night? When he came, he was like, his marriage issue, this guy, when he narrated all the things this guy has been seeing, what the wife has been doing to this guy, I was like, wow, that woman that looks so sweet and so wow. So men should be allowed to speak out when things are not going the way they have planned it to go. There's nothing like a perfect marriage. If you are having issues, it's okay, because if we suppress him and feel, he's a man, he's talking too much and everything, he can be depressed, he can commit anything.
It's important that we state here clearly that we're not here judging this marriage.
No, we're not.
We're not judging, what's her name, Cora Obidi. We're not interested. We're just interested in the fact that a man is expressing himself, because we hardly see men do that.
Yes.
So when a man is saying, I'm asking for accountability, and there's a lot of issues with mental health, it begs for a conversation. Like, okay, how many of the other men, even African men, are going through this and they keep quiet? And this is an Igbo man that can speak his own mind. An African man will just keep it to himself and just
and be suffering in silence.
Suffering in silence. What are your thoughts,
there's a part of the message that I would not be judging her, but I would deal with seriously. He said, this is not about postpartum depression. I have been betrayed once again, and she's unbothered. So the word I'm bothered about is unbothered. Yes, so you cannot be in a marriage. This is not judging. This is us talking as women to women, because it's Women's Month. We need to talk to ourselves. You cannot be in a marriage and be unbothered. We've all been there. I remember when I was dealing with adjusting to motherhood the first time, there were a lot of external factors almost running me mad. You know, it was my first experience opening the doors and the walls to every family member who had one thing or the other to say. Somebody who wanted to control, somebody who wanted to be. Everybody had their say. And it almost it was the most distant period between myself and my husband. There was really no communication. At some point, I just started building a wall around myself. And even when he tried to express that, you know, you've been acting weird and I'm offended, and I'll be like, baby, I have a small child I'm dealing with. I really don't care. You can cope because see all the one that everybody is giving me. I cannot come and die, that kind of thing. And so, for a long time, I remember that year clearly. If my husband wasn't a lot patient, the thing was scattered because I would just wake up one morning, I need a divorce. I just can't. I don't know where I was getting it from, but I really didn't want to concern. If my child cries, the heaven can fall. I really don't care. That's my only concern in the world. And every other thing was failing. Every other thing was failing. If you have a gift of, because I call it a privilege, a gift of a spouse who is bold enough in this our patriarchal where women don't express weakness, to say, I'm dying under these emotions. This is not working for me. You need to pay attention. Women, we need to, marriage is about reassuring. If your husband thinks you're on your phone too much, you need to explain why you're on your phone too much. If it is about work, you need to let him know. If you need to reduce it, you can reduce it. Yes, any compromise you need. And see, every day when we are talking, you're on your phone. I'm like, okay, see what I'm doing. It's work. And if it is, now we have a time limit. Once I come into the house in the evening, if I tell you, you can call me in the evening, it's not guaranteed. Because if you call me in the evening and it's already family time, I will not pick it. Good. Because my husband will be like, or just the eye, and I'll just leave the phone. It will be ringing there, and I will not pick it, no matter, except it's an urgent one I can explain away. So for marriage, it's about two serious-minded people ready to commit to the vulnerable things, needs of the other person or nothing. It's not for you to show.
Right, let me let you get your initial thoughts, because I wanted to go into this issue of social media getting involved. But what are your initial thoughts when you read this story?
My initial thought is thank you for speaking your mind. I know we don't like to bring marriage issues to social media, but I think this particular message that he put out will allow for conversations in many homes. I think he will be speaking for a lot of men who maybe do not even have the way. He articulated it so well, you know, and I'm so happy that he did that. I mean, not just men, even women will look at this and would, and if you really care about your marriage, you want to have the conversation with your husband and ask about, do you think I have empathy? Do I show that to you? Am I accountable? You know, things like that. So I like that part of conversation. But another part that I'm a bit concerned about is the fact that he said this is not postpartum, but it may be, if you have not gone to the right place to confirm that it isn't. She just had a baby. And it's that period of time for people that have postpartum depression or anything, it reveals itself in so many ways. You'll be surprised, you know, some of the things some people would say that they did. Some people would tell you that they didn't want to even ever see their husband ever during that period. They didn't, everything concerning him just irritates them, you know, and it is part of that. So unless they have gone to a proper therapist who has said, no, this is not about that, then he can say, then it's not postpartum because he's not sure. Then secondly, if she is still interested, because I can understand how sometimes if you've just had a baby and you think this grown man, you can take care of yourself. I don't need the extra burden. But if that is not the case and she's just ready to move on, then I think it is fair that she lets him know that this is really, it's not working. But if it's two people wanting to work things out, and that's why we talk about men being mature, some people may tell him, wait this period out. It may just very well be about that. For me, when I think my own postpartum was the child, for me it was towards my child. I did not immediately just fall in love. You know, I remember looking at him, I was like, you know, what is this? Some people immediately, before the child comes out, they are swallowing the child, like, I love you. But for some people, this is the child that you carried that you've wanted. And yet when the child came, you're like, see, can I have some space? So it just reveals itself in many ways, and he needs to understand that.
Let me go on a quick break. When we come back, we continue. We dig further. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
At TVC Communications, we're all about our audience. Millions of viewers, listeners, and readers every day all around Nigeria.
Our 2 TV stations are among the most watched in Nigeria.
TVC News is our award-winning 24-hour national and international news channel headquartered here in Lagos, broadcasting live from our custom-built state-of-the-art news headquarters.
TVC, the top-rated family entertainment channel, is the place for fun, music, and information. With our breakfast show, Wake Up Nigeria, the all-female chat show, Your View, the best soaps and dramas from Nolly, Bolly, and Hollywood, music and entertainment blast, courtesy E-Splash, and of course, award-winning news and current affairs. It is all here.
With news bureau and studios around the country and the ability to go live anywhere, anytime, we are first for breaking news in Nigeria. Awarded the NMMA TV Station of the Year, TVC News is the station of choice for news that is first, accurate, balanced, and reliable every time. TVC and TVC News watched by over 4.5 million people in Nigeria every day on terrestrial, DTH, DTT, OTT, and available to viewers in the UK on Sky TV. Watch all of our world-class programs on TV, online, and on our app. TVC and TVC News, the best entertainment and news for Nigeria on TV and online.
And when you can't watch us, listen to us. 102.3 Max FM Lagos and 90.9 Max FM Abuja are now ranked among the most listened to radio stations in Nigeria.
Now, with over 1.5 million listeners every day, we're the people's favorite radio station. Best hit music, best on-air talent. Max 102.3 hit music for Lagos and Max 90.9 hit music for Abuja. We are your home for that fun, entertainment, and hit music.
In Lagos, TVC, our leading family entertainment TV channel, has a 47% market share. But this is just the start of our journey, as we plan to add even more services to entertain and inform our ever-growing audience. Thanks for being part of the TVC Communications story.
Thanks for staying with us. So we're still dissecting this issue that happened with Cora, right? Obidi, yes. So what struck me was even the first sentence. Let me read it to you. It says, anyone that knows me or watches me online knows that I'm a dedicated family man to both Cora and my children. Now that can be misrepresented, or that might not even be the real fact of it. And let me tell you why. There's a way we project ourselves on social media there's a perspective we show to TV that, oh, he's such a loving man, such a fine man, nice man. But it's the person that is living with you that knows the reality of what they are dealing with. So you I mean, nobody would ever... My husband, for example, there's nobody that will see my husband on social media. You have a fantastic man. You have a good man. And I keep smiling. Oh, yeah. Fantastic. When he flips like 360, the equity comes out. You can't handle it. I'm handling it. You know, the backstory, which we don't often share, comes out. So you're saying in his own mind, he's a good man. But have we cared to see if the woman also sees you as a good man? There's something you're probably doing that's ticking her off too.
That's why communication is very important. And it's good that married couples review their love life and relationships from time to time. It's very necessary. In 2 months, in 3 months, you sit down and you ask yourself questions. How am I? What do you see? Initially, it was even my husband who suggested we do this regularly because I felt like we were good. I'm good. I'm humble. I'm loving. I'm okay. I cook for you. I do this. I do that. But he will now sit down and say, he starts with himself. Is there anything I'm doing that you don't like? And then, yes. And then I'm now afraid to ask the same question because my mind is already telling me that. And when I ask this question and he go very blunt, he would tell me, you do this, you do this, you do this. I don't like this. You have to carry me along here. Wow. So that when I now started becoming self-aware. So I felt I was all good and I'm ready to go. I'm the home girl and everything. But when he started listing, and he would list it in love, we're not quarreling, we're having a conversation. And that's why it's important that you find time for closeness, no matter how busy you are. So we do this when we go on our staycations, which we do regularly. And he would tell me, this is what you're doing that I don't like, this is what you're doing that I'm like...
That's an interesting one.
Oh my God. So I'm doing all of this, Jesus. Yeah. You know, and I'm constantly asking myself, wow. At one point, there was one that happened 2 weeks ago where he called my attention to it. He's known me for 20 years. And he said, you've been doing this for 20 years. That came as a shock. And he looked at me in the eye and said, life coach, fix yourself. I nearly disappeared. It took me a while to get it. So it's important. And I promised him something. I said, now that you've pointed it out like this, that it's been a pattern for this long, baby, give me time, I will work on it.
Fantastic.
So it's important that you have this regular conversation so that you know, because in your head, you're thinking you're all good and fly. And the other person is looking at you like, oh God, you're suffering me.
I think I need that therapy because sometimes in my own head, I always think I'm a good girl, Mariah. You're a good girl. I always assume I'm so good, but I think I need to find out.
You need to find out.
That comes with
assuming
feeling that I'm a good girl. Let me take this call and I'll come to Nima. Evangelist Chuku has been holding. Good morning, sir. Are you there? You're live. Go ahead, please.
Yeah, I actually enjoy your program. When you started the program today, I started mentioning presidential form, those want to pick nomination form for presidency. That is 40 million or thereabouts. That the intent is 5 million. I don't know.
We lost that. That was in the newspaper review. Yes, so, go ahead, Nima.
Just because PC has brought us here, you know, when a couple are having a conversation, he talked about effective communication. And the other person, you said you had cringed because you know certain things and you accepted them. Because I don't want Cora to think that, you know, women are sitting here. This is us with our marriages, borrowing you some things and learning from yours. Not us attacking you at all. No, not at all. So I would admit publicly that when we do have these conversations, even when it is in love, I'm a dagger's draw. When you want to tell me, like, okay, don't even go there. You know? This is a loving conversation that we're having, myself and my husband. And yet, my defenses are at alert. Don't even just jam talk. Don't even just jam talk. You know? And so we know as women that, you know, we have some excesses. We do have them. We do. They are our own well-guarded secrets. But when it comes to marriage, even if you do not admit where they are telling you, in your corners of your hair, you know you want to try and improve on yourself in those areas. And Your spouse, if he's in love, is correcting you in love, really doesn't want you to come and admit in his presence. He just wants to see a difference over time. And we're all work in progress in our marriages.
True.
So I would love that. I don't pray this marriage breaks, really, 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 because I follow the couple. I don't follow her dancing. I just follow that support. And so when he said, if you know me, there are areas of that I wanted to say, I've seen the way. Because if he was an African man, he get the dance step. He can dance. So. He get where they go dance rich. Somebody will knock him in the family, they dance. You know? But this is a man. I saw one of her lives that was shared by a blog, and she was dancing just after the birth of the child, and she said, I need a jacket or something. And he brought one that, and she really just, snapped and said, I don't want this one. And somebody had commented immediately, and this is where we need to deal with the evil eye, or, the comments around. Someone commented and said, and he brought another one, she said, oh, that one. And someone said, why are you being rude to him or using him or something? And he said, they said, I'm using you, and am I using you? And he said, no. That's a supportive man.
Yeah.
But if you were a discerning woman,
you will know.
In the corners when you are not live, using you.
Ask that question.
You pick it.
That question. Because you don't even want it to just be somebody's comment. That's where the maturity. We want it to be the real situation that I'm really not. If I'm abusing you, if you feel abused in your marriage, because
so what I'm hearing you say is that there is the social media life, and there's real life marriage. So if you really want this marriage, yes, they might say things out there to you, they insult you. When you come home, you have that conversation where tell me what am I doing to hurt you, and it should be mutual. Yes, Nima.
So I love the part where he says effective communication to understand the other person's perspective. I want to use two examples in my home where it took me understanding my husband's perspective to finally get it. My husband always leaves the toilet seat up. Annoys me. And then when you wake up late at night and you sit down, then the toilet seat is cold. I'm like, how are you always leaving the toilet seat up? It was a serious issue for me. I just did not get it. And one day I just noticed he lifts it up so he could use, for them, they stand to use it. They don't sit to use it. It never occurred to me for years that was what was happening. He lifts it up so he could use, and then I have to put it down for me to use.
So you're both doing.
Yes, he was not doing anything wrong, but I just never saw it from his point of view. And that was a serious issue. I kept that thing. I was so upset. The second thing that he does is when he jogs around all the places, he now carries his dirty shoes right into the bedroom. I've said it so many times. This one, I remember I vocalized it. And I was like, he was like, you have your own weaknesses. I don't hound you on them. This is a simple matter. Just take the shoes and put them outside. And my sisters, I decided to just take the shoes and put them outside. Till tomorrow, the shoes still come into the room. I just take them and put them outside.
For peace sake, fantastic.
And I have peace. So there are some times when you just see, and do I love that he walks out? I do. So why make it an issue?
Let me take this call quickly before I come back to you. Anthony, are you there? Sorry for keeping you.
Yes, I'm here.
You're live. Go ahead, please. Good morning.
How are you doing today?
Very good.
Amazing.
Your program is making me to get it to work.
Oh, I'm so sorry. We're sorry. We're sorry about that. Go ahead, please.
I will always make sure I record. Anyway, the topic this one actually is very, very important for those who understand it. Marriage. It's so thick. It's so deep. There's a lot into it. Very many will carry their lifestyle out there when they're singles into marriage. They still want to keep that kind of lifestyle. At the end of the day, there will be issues. Marriage homes will break. So one thing about this, our celebrities, is that fine, this is what you do. If I'm meeting you as a girl and I propose to marry you, fine. We should be able to sit down and have understanding. There are some things you need to cut down for the sake of marriage. Like in the case of this couple, many of our celebrities will prefer to marry married men because white men will condone all sorts of things. They don't bother. But you marry an African man where tradition custom plays out. Even the family friends will call his attention. I think you need to tell your wife to reduce this, reduce that, for the sake of peace. For instance, me as a person, I sit down with my family, my wife, I'll ask them, let them explain me. Is there anything I'm doing that you think I need to be corrected? So I make them feel relaxed whenever we're talking. Criticize me. Let me know where I'm erring, where I'm failing. so that I can quickly correct it before things will go bad. If you don't give that kind of thing, they will just be looking at you. You think you are correct, you are perfect in all areas, but it's not so. So you need people to explain you, to tell you where you are erring, and you can easily make correction.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Anthony. That's an interesting...
Let me just go back. So I brought those two examples because for the toilet seat, for me, I was concentrating on why he would never put the seat down. And I never thought that also, why didn't I ever lift up the seat for him? Yeah. Because he has to use it. I was just focused on my own need. That he too, maybe he would like one day to come and see that the toilet seat was already put up for him to use, and he never complained about it. And also for the shoes. So sometimes that effective communication, sometimes is the little things that sort of pile up and then explodes in our faces. We don't talk about them enough. We don't, we don't address them. And the second one in effective communication is don't wait until you're upset to have a conversation. And my husband does that really well. If you raise your voice in a certain way, you tell you, I'm not having this conversation with you right now. Burst. Because this conversation, you are not having me and you are not having a conversation where somebody, So I had learned now that the only time I even want anything, when I want to be heard and when I want anything to be done, is when we sit down to quietly and say, okay, do you know you did this? And it works. So I feel that, going back to him, the reason why I'm even saying he should wait a while is because of this period. She's just had a child. Deep inside me, I feel that has to do with that period of time. It takes a while for women to adjust. I know you say, oh, it's a second baby or it's a third baby. Each baby comes with its own peculiarities. So he can hold on a bit. And then let's hope that someone is also talking to her to be a bit more
Let me come to BC. When a man complains of mental health, what does that even mean? Because sometimes you think that you're the stronger one. You're supposed to just get it covered. You are covering. You are the leader of the house. So what could get you to the point where a man will feel mentally unhealthy? What are those things a man can... I mean, you're not a man, but I'd like to also hear from men this morning. Can the man really be mentally unhealthy? And if he is, what are those things that... Define it for me. Is it that he's having bad dreams? Is it that he's having... I don't know. How does a man go through mental
so when it comes
unhealthiness?
To emotions, men are actually the babies. You will know the truth if you're in marriage and you've been married for a long time. Some of the things that we see on the outside is just that bragado, that ego that we see. But when they come into our bedrooms, you see that you have more emotional stability than they have. You are the one who is supposed to be the stabilizing force. But outside, I want to show I'm the man, I'm in charge, I'm paying the bills, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. And they need you to help them with that balance when they come inside the room where they are your babies. What I see when it comes to a man talking about mental health is men see love differently from how we see love. For a man, respect he interprets as love. Once you can respect him, once you can hear him out, he says, I don't like what you're doing, and you say, oh, baby, is there any way I can do it better? You listen to him. You give him that attention as your head and your partner. He interprets it as love. You can get away with any other thing that you do if you can show him that respect. So when that respect is not coming, you are not accountable. You feel, I'm making money, you're making money, so why do you tell me how to spend my money? He's already feeling attacked. Why do you tell me who to visit and who not to visit? For Christ's sake, if you want to be visiting people anyhow, stay alone. You don't have to get married. You need to report where you are going to. I'm going to so and so place. You need somebody to hold you accountable.
But does an Oyibo man need that kind of respect? Let me tell you. Let me come there. Because I want you to go back. Because as a black girl now, if I marry a white guy, I expect him to be like a Brad Pitt, let me be free, expressive, I can be brash, I can slap your face and you hug me. Okay, it's divorced. But, if I slap your face, I expect you to just hug me. No, darling, no, don't slap me, I still love you. If I'm marrying a white guy, I expect to tell him, you're stupid. And he's like, honey, I'm not stupid, I love you. Because he's a white guy. He's not like this cameraman looking at me with all these strong faces.
point to you on this table that the ones that are telling you that are the very low-class people that don't have head. It's the one they project to us.
Both humans.
Yes, it's the ones that they project to us. When you are in that society with the real ones that you, because of course you want a real guy, you want a responsible guy, you need to be responsible as well. And respect is reciprocal. So you can't be talking to your husband anyhow and feel he's the man. No, it's not whether he's a white man, a Ghana man, an Indian man. In fact, let's even go to India. You know their case there. You understand? So a man is a man. A man has the same emotions running, whether he's Africa, whether he's... We just see more ego here because we are the ones feeling our Nigerian men.
Let me tell you also, I used to hear this a lot when I was young with my mom and her sisters. They used to say it, I didn't understand it then. They used to say that, with the Nigerian man, he will tell you immediately when he's not happy about something, and then people can work it out. And that the Oyinbo man will just be looking at you. Then one day he's like, I'm done. Yeah. I'm done. You're like, hey, Uncle, what happened? No. We're not doing this. We're not doing this anymore. So I think for them, it's just that same. Open daily conversation. Yeah.
I think that's what's even happened here. I think it's what happened here. Because African men don't announce divorce when their wife is nursing babies. It's rare. We don't. They don't.
They just find one side chick somewhere that will be rubbing their back. Yes.
No,
side chick is a universal, not a African man.
Let me pause you for a second. I have Jeremiah. Jeremiah, are you there?
Yes, I'm here, Mariah.
You're live. Go ahead, please.
Okay, good morning.
Morning.
Quite an interesting topic you're discussing there.
Yeah.
I like the situation you're discussing about. I like the fact that you're discussing personal issues on telly. It makes it a lot more real for people to associate with, and also tells people the kind of experiences you've gone through that makes your advices and your views valid. You know, we come into the marriage with different perspectives, and the interesting thing is that some of these perspectives, we don't even know how we learned them. And then we come into it, and then they become the perspectives we want our spouse to run with without even knowing how those perspectives were being run with by whoever we learned it from. So I think one of the important things is for us to question even how we live. At some point in time, my wife told someone I respect, Innocent Usta, she told him, I have changed. And at some point, I was wondering, how did I change? I was also thinking, did I really change or she adapted? Because it's one thing for her to see change from my own point of view and change from her own point of view. Probably I have not really changed, but she adapted to live with the kind of person I am, which is also a dangerous point because I'm also pushing her to an extent that she should not be pushed. So it's very key that we also examine ourselves. Right. Now, I want to speak about when one of your presenters there said men are the babies. For me, of course, Mariah, you will know that's a generalization. And it doesn't hold for every man.
Of course.
There are babies in both different situations. In a particular situation, the man can be the baby. Right. In another situation, the woman can be a baby.
I'm the baby man.
Now, let me stay with you, Jeremiah, for a second, because this issue of mental health, are you still there, Jeremiah? Oh, I think we lost him.
So I was saying that...
mental health.
No. That, you know, adjusting to him not talking on time. Right. Yes, African men will let you know immediately how they feel about issues. So as they hot, they give it sharp, so you know. But this is a white man who, first of all, be adjusting or wondering maybe later. And then I think there's another African thing he didn't do. He didn't talk to a respected family member. When this broke, the sister said they were helping them walk through it. So let's just imagine that you've been saying the face of the cup is not white, you know, and she doesn't see a black cup, so she doesn't understand. You can even just show it to, maybe Abisi is her sister. Abisi, can you see that the face of the cup has, this is what I'm talking about. And so maybe sometimes communication happens better with somebody else that you love, a third person. So yes, we don't support third parties in marriages, but for marriages to work, there's something they do in my place where I'm from in Auchi. When a young girl is being married, they say, honor Ogbana. That means, yes, you have your mother, but you have a mentor, a bigger person, who most likely is married into the family. And so when I was married, my father's cousin was Honorable Megbana, and they handed me over to her. So when communication breaks down totally in marriage, and my head is swelling, I cannot hear my parents and everybody, I'll just see her pay a visit. And when she pays that visit,
you know what it means.
I know what it means. In fact, immediately I first of all go and cook stew, because it's a whole day conversation. So what she does when she comes, okay, she's a matron.
Oh, we've lost that today.
We've lost that. That's an African culture that has very impactful effect. When she comes visiting, my husband will deliberately, his phone will be silent. I know who reported what. And we sit down. He goes first, I go next. We keep going, and she's quiet. At the end of the day, she pronounces something, and then when she leaves, we both sit down and talk it clearly. So the points are well highlighted at the end of that conversation. That's an African custom. And I think that it doesn't really have to be that your tradition does that in your culture, but you can have it in families. It could be her mom who sees your perspective and helps her see it. It could be, you know, we have this within families. That,
and that's what I wanted to also say about this particular marriage, because when the sister came in and spoke about it, I said he has also one of the ingredients of a marriage that may likely work. He has a support system, and a support system that came even from her own side of the family. We have had celebrities come online to talk about their marriage, and family members came out of the woodwork on both sides saying negative things about the person crying. So for me, it looks like with a little patience, this might work. But then one thing with mental health we always talk about, sometimes we say to ourselves, take yourself out of a situation if it's so overwhelming, because right now you need to save yourself first before you'll be able to save, you know, the marriage itself. So maybe he needs to take that time off a bit for his mental health, because that's I mean, if you're not right here, the physical, it will not manifest in the physical.
African man, take
Let me go.
they come back.
Let me go on a quick break. When we come back, we'll continue this conversation. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
At TVC Communications, we're all about our audience. Millions of viewers, listeners, and readers every day all around Nigeria.
Our 2 TV stations are among the most watched in Nigeria.
TVC News is our award-winning 24-hour national and international news channel headquartered here in Lagos, broadcasting live from our custom-built state-of-the-art news headquarters.
TVC, the top-rated family entertainment channel, is the place for fun, music, and information. With our breakfast show, Wake Up Nigeria, the all-female chat show, Your View, the best soaps and dramas from Nolly, Bali, and Hollywood, music and entertainment blast, courtesy E-Splash, and of course, award-winning news and current affairs. It is all here.
With news bureau and studios around the country and the ability to go live anywhere, anytime, we are first for breaking news in Nigeria. Awarded the NMMA TV Station of the Year, TVC News is the station of choice for news that is first, accurate, balanced, and reliable every time. TVC and TVC News watched by over 4.5 million people in Nigeria every day on terrestrial, DTH, DTT, OTT, and available to viewers in the UK on Sky TV. Watch all of our world-class programs on TV, online, and on our app. TVC and TVC News, the best entertainment and news for Nigeria on TV and online.
And when you can't watch us, listen to us. 102.3 Max FM Lagos and 90.9 Max FM Abuja are now ranked among the most listened to radio stations in Nigeria.
Now, with over 1.5 million listeners every day, we're the people's favorite radio station. Best hit music, best on-air talent. Max 102.3 hit music for Lagos and Max 90.9 hit music for Abuja. We are your home for that fun, entertainment, and hit music.
In Lagos, TVC, our leading family entertainment TV channel, has a 47% market share. But this is just the start of our journey, as we plan to add even more services to entertain and inform our ever-growing audience. Thanks for being part of the TVC communication story.
TVC Communications, we're all about our audience. Millions of viewers, listeners, and readers every day all around Nigeria.
Doubt and fear doesn't occur at the canvas, it shows in the canvas. It shows the conation of raw earthen material slabbed, stroked, and molded at a pace provided by the doubt and fear. Every move way in the struggle of one to the other, merging the past to the present, brushstrokes of colors seen but not known. For when the wailing stops, the pieces settle down in abject beauty, erected for a century of a century. Speaking, advocating, protesting as the arts are meant to be.
How we're doing, guys? Is the makeup in progress? Makeup?
Check.
Are the scripts on the prompter? Script?
Check.
Are we set in the VCR? All team in place? VCR?
Check. Clock is ticking, time is racing, lights are. Plans all set. 120 minutes of hot entertainment. We are ready for the mission.
Doubt and fear doesn't occur at the canvas, it shows in the canvas. It shows the conation of raw earthen material slabbed, stroked, and molded at a pace provided by the doubt and fear. Every move way in the struggle of one to the other, merging the past to the present, brushstrokes of colors seen but not known. For when the wailing stops, the pieces settle down in abject beauty, erected for a century of a century. Speaking, advocating, protesting as the arts are meant to be.
A little bit more. Perfect. I have exciting news for you. You asked for it and you got it. Your favorite breakfast show, Your View, will be going to 2 hours. We're going to have in-depth analysis of the newspaper review and more conversations on the hot topics. The ladies of Your View and I will be stirring up our guests to get an in-depth into all the various topics. Thanks for staying with us. So we're still analyzing the expression of a man who's saying he's quitting his marriage. And this is an interesting conversation to have because we hardly hear men talk. And when a man talks, this doesn't mean that we're not seeing the side of the woman because we've not really heard her say much. You know? I'm still waiting for her to respond to this. But it's just interesting to see when a man says marriage is supposed to be based on mutual love. So is he suggesting that there's no mutual love? Or there was no mutual respect, or he complained about humility. Is he saying that she wasn't humble, she wasn't accountable, empathetic, or apologetic in certain instances? So if a man is saying you're not humble, what does that mean? And also when he's saying that you're not accountable, you don't apologize, you're not empathetic, you're thinking to yourself, we are together now. What is all this empathy you're looking for?
Share a joke.
You know?
So when I talk, I have a masculine voice. And when I talk authoritatively. I forget I'm talking to my husband. And so for a long time, he didn't understand. He used to say I wasn't humble. I would say, that's how I talk. You know? But if it is not communicating, why do you continue talking like that? So I have to drop it. I just remembered how I used to say, but that's how I talk.
You know? But you know, one thing I've realized in this marriage thing is, it's very difficult when one person is selfish. Very difficult. Because everything you are explaining, the person will just not get you. The person is is focused on him or herself and will not understand, why are you complaining again? Everything you say will now be sounding like you're nagging. Uncle, take care of yourself. Why? What? And also, we also need to define what humility means. And it means different things to different people. So for some people, they want you to be a doormat, and that's the only way they would get that you're humble. And you're saying, I can't be a doormat. You talk to me like a human being. Let's have a conversation. Let's sit down. Let's make our plans known. You follow this, I follow that. You can't just be, giving me orders and expect me not to have a dream, a goal, a vision, or anything. And for others, it says, okay, you have all those things, but your humility shows that before you do anything, you let me know. We talk about it, we agree.
You're accountable to each other.
You're accountable to each other. So it's about definition. What does humility mean to you? Tell me, and then I can work towards ensuring. And also, men too need to be humble. Some men don't take any form of advice from their wives. I'm the man. I know better than you. I know this. I know that. And you go around making mistakes and not owning up, mistakes that will land us in trouble. So the humility is both ways. You can just explain
but modern
what it means
marriages,
to you.
You say our own generation is somewhat kind of freezing out.
Yeah.
There are younger people now, 21, 25, getting married, and their new world is like, listen, is this 50-50? I have a voice here. Yes, you're humble, but we're both humble to each other. I don't have to apologize if I don't feel like it right now. Maybe later, but right now I just don't feel like apologizing to you.
Or you don't even deserve.
You don't even deserve an apology. So that is the world we're living in. So I'm not even sure if you're qualified to talk to younger people in marriage because their world is different.
Very different.
How do we bring back the traditional uniqueness of marriage, yet accepting and embracing the modernity that it might have?
I don't think it's about we can talk to anybody, older, younger, because we all learn from each other.
Yeah.
We'll learn maybe confidence from them, being able to stand up for yourself from the younger generation. But we can also teach them that, respect and humility works. You see, this humility is not about really putting yourself down to the point that you're the doormat. It's about recognizing that you're just as important. The other person is just as important as you in this relationship. Yeah. I am not the most important person here. My needs are not the most important needs right now. That okay, I look at my needs in relation to yours. Who can go first now? Even though this is important to me, but I'm looking at the bigger picture. It's okay. Go first, and that helps really with marriage. And it also shows that you have respect for each other. If you don't have that respect for each other, it's hard to be humble with each other. It's hard to show empathy, And secondly, when people talk about humility in marriage, they also, we talk about modernity, A lot of us think that because of the way our parents suffered, there are some of the things that they went through. So I'll make sure that when I come into this marriage, I will not go through what my mother went through. And sometimes it makes sense. But many times you're not married to the father that caused that. You're blessed. Maybe because of what you went through, you made a different type of decision and married a different kind of man. A man that is showing you a different sort of respect. Or you as the man, you saw how your mother may have treated your husband. Like, I would not come into a marriage and make a woman treat me like that. But if that woman is not your mother, is not treating you the way your mother treated your father, then you have a problem. Humility, for me, I feel it's such a gift. But you cannot give it if you don't love someone and if you don't respect someone.
So let's talk about respect. So respect does not happen in marriages by default. No. African men. I'm the man in this house. That's not respect. That's fear.
You gotta earn
it. A lot of women just stay and they just want to avoid subjugation. That's subjugation. But respect is earned. Imagine you showing up. Which by taking your responsibilities in marriage, when that woman knows that I did not marry a fluke, kind of man. I know the kind of man I marry, a man who shows up for his children, who's there for his family, a man who gives. The respect will come naturally. It's not always about money. Because the mistake is that you never build houses your friends have built. You've not bought the cars. No. It's not always about that. But your inability to be there for your family sometimes is the reason you're disrespected. Some men will, naturally, it is a woman's business. When you're eating, you're looking and seeing if your children are taking their spoons in their mouth. Their father just eats.
Yes.
But when you have a man who worries and says, this baby is losing weight, what's happening, even though he doesn't have the time to count how many spoons they eat.
He pays attention.
He pays little things
Very
like
important.
that.
You know, let me take this call.
And women too.
Are they from London? Are you there?
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning. Yeah.
My contribution to this issue is that humility is the key. No man, very few, if there are, that want their wife to outshine them. I'll give you an example. Prince Charles married to Diana. Diana was okay, everything was going fine. Immediately, Diana is getting outshined, the star of Prince Charles. Problem comes. Charles has to go for his original interest, girlfriend, which is Camilla. Until Charles married Camilla, they have to since he married Camilla. Camilla doesn't do much. Maybe occasionally we see her. But when Diana was alive, anywhere, even for attending anywhere, if it's a cocktail party, they say $1 million. Charles doesn't want that. So that's white people. So he applies to all men. But so that's why humility belongs to the wife. You must humble yourself, act like a slave to your husband in your house. But when you go out,
both ways.
So, see, if we hear different generations, you hear different ways, their tonality, what they mean, different perspective. Like what I was trying to say earlier is understand if the younger generation of marriages can even understand what some of us go through. I'm going through something that, I mean, I will share. My husband, for example, like whenever the generator goes off and the inverter picks up, he wants the fan to focus on him. Now, we have one fan in the room, and because it's our room, right? So he wants the fan to focus. I want it to oscillate because I want it to spread around because it's us. But he insists on it focusing. I hate the focus because I don't like the air directly at me. So we're constantly having a fight that let this thing oscillate. At some point, I have to just leave the fan with him. But I have to suffer being hot through the night because I can't go back and forth with this argument and fight over oscillate, stay still, oscillate. Sometimes too, turn off the light. I want the lights on. I'm a child of lights. Like, it's me, I'm a child of darkness. Yes, you're a child of darkness because I want lights on. He wants the lights dark, off. I want it on.
At night.
Yeah, just leave it, you know. So there's that constant. No, just like I open the lights small. Let's some lights on.
It's just not part of this, but there's so
but
many
the truth is that we are sacrificed because I have to sleep in a hot way overnight because this man is insisting that the fan must face him, and I will probably just move to the other side so that the fan doesn't touch me. But is a modern wife willing to? She would fight that fight, but no, I'll buy a new fan. I don't want to buy an extra fan because I don't want my room to be too crowded. I can't be having things around and have 2 fans in the room. So those are sacrifices we make on a daily.
The sacrifices are good, but I would like that everyone who's listening, whether you are the man or the woman, should share the sacrifices. It will be unfair that you leave it for one person. This is what I want, this is how it's going to be, and that is it. Everything is one person that is, it's unfair.
Eventually they will bust.
It's unfair, yes, they will bust. And aside from the busting, also put yourself in your children's shoes. If you have a daughter come to tell you that this is how my husband treats me, this is how my wife treats me, would you like that? If we, I used that a lot to get my father to change some of his ways when I became an adult, bold enough to speak to him. I'll see some things that he does to my stepmother. I'm like, have you ever imagined if I marry somebody and they treat me like, never, they can never treat. I said, but that's what you're doing to my stepmother.
Because his daughter
and he will not keep quiet. I say yes. I say yes. Would you like them to do me like that? He said, no, you can't even take that. I said, but you see, and he helped him start, thinking. So sometimes when you put another person in front of them, this thing you're consistently doing, and point it out. Don't be silent and wait till you bust. As the little things are dropping, I'm the one sacrificing here. I'm the one sacrificing there.
Not in anger.
So when you speak out sometimes, his subconscious mind may not have processed how what he's doing is affecting you till you say it. When you say it and get him to repeat it, it will dawn on him that, okay, this thing I'm doing, maybe let me take some sacrifice. Let's share the sacrifice, please.
Yes, it's important to share the sacrifice, but also I want us to, because someone listening to, Mariah has told one story. She has given one perspective.
Yeah, that's true.
And so, the story I said about my husband bringing shoes into, no matter what I say, he still brings the shoes in till today. But does that stop him from doing other things, making sacrifices in other places?
Exactly.
No. So that's why some people be like, oh, okay, they hear Mariah's story, I'm like, I will not take it. Mariah will take it because in many ways he shows up.
God bless you.
And in many ways she is falling and he has been her strength in that place.
In many other places.
So that is what the marriage is about. That is when
give
we
and
now
take.
give and take. There are some places that they goof. We know this is your goof forever, my cross. But then there are some things that they are so great and you cannot stop talking about. Oh my God, you know what he did for me.
And so that's why share the sacrifices. As long as
not necessarily on that item, but on different other things.
One person is not the one consistently sacrificing.
So whenever you have decisions that you need to make, not every time your perspective. You know, we women, we like to say, you know, because I'm the one in the house. Me, I've not said to them, stay away from the kitchen. Everything in that kitchen, don't even have a say. But I don't want us to live without the apology part. Sometimes when we apologize, sorry is not sorry. Or my son say, I say sorry now. I say sorry now, it's not sorry. Or I'm sorry, it's not sorry. In marriages, deep, sincere apologies are the way to go. If I usually am deliberate about my actions, and I always have excuses, whether external or immediate, about why I'm doing what I'm doing. So when the person comes to you and says, auntie, this thing you did offended me, I always come from, I never intended. No. So growing up, my siblings know I would not apologize for what I don't think I offended you with. If you like, cry.
We know.
We know already.
We too, we don't
apologize to us here now.
So shut up, I apologize to you. But the time proves me. But when it was marriage, I get closed door when I need to. Either I have gone on my knees when I need to, because I see the pain. If a person expresses that this is how badly what you did affects me, you really don't have to feel that you have done wrong. You really need not to have done wrong from your perspective. But that the action itself
affected that person,
that much, and you value that relationship. A lot of times, even for friendships, I do it. When you value that, I just go, I'm so sorry. I didn't want to bring you like this.
So you don't value me. That's what you're saying.
Me and you have not sat down to talk. You can ask the people we sit and talk. So when we get down to it, give it time. I will still be on my page that I didn't do this. And once the opportunity comes, I'll let you see that. Did you see that you were saying what I did wrongly? At that time, it was so much pain, and I did not want you to be in that pain. That's marriage. Not all the time. Me, I don't need that to greet nobody, apologize to nobody. But when I do meals, I do. If I have to, I do.
Few messages.
So we have Festus says, every romantic relationship needs quality investment for it to last. While there's no perfect marriage anywhere in the world, you are blessed if you have children because they can make your marriage flowery and prevent it from breaking. And Andrew thinks that we should be on the issue of Ukraine. But Jerry says, on the contrary, I don't feel men should speak out in public when things don't play out according to their expectations. As a man, you should find a way to deal with the situation. That's why you're a man in the first place. But BC has addressed it, why some men will commit some sins.
Yeah,
they don't commit in our hands.
Billikis says, the society demands certain standards of women, not the same yardstick for men. Women compromises and settles for less. There are some comments here that attacked individually, so I'm not going to read that.
Attacking us? Immaculate,
just picking on what we say and
Immaculate Boy says, I think when couples are having issues, why don't they separate and live apart for a while and see if they can see things better without each other at the first instance. And if they come back, it's still the same, then you know it means
Stokes Oye says, have you guys considered the cultural differences in this particular relationship?
That is a valid point.
Nigerian people have these issues. What's the cultural difference?
No, what I'm saying though, maybe they were not so different. Maybe they were.
You know what we were discussing in the makeup room earlier today, where I said, BC, the very first time she was like, you're a goat. Cultural difference. Oh, okay, came late. So cultural difference, I learned culturally. South, they can come and say, you're a fool, you're a goat, and it's a joke.
For people we're close to.
Yeah, for people that are close to. So imagine telling a Igbo you're a goat, you're a fool. He will not get it.
Mariah didn't get it.
Mariah too didn't get it. She was like, what would you call me? You know, even with the first time, I was like, why is she calling me a goat? What did I do to her?
Within the South.
But I got that.
In the South is a joke. I can probably say, carry your head, why your head? But I cannot say to the other way, to the Yoruba speaking side of the South, and say, carry your horse head.
Who said us? So maybe you just want to Festus Akinboyewa says, every romantic relationship. Okay, want to.
I want to just wait, my husband and I are dating. I can never forget this fight. It was our first fight on 3rd Mainland Bridge. I said, you're so silly. Oh my goodness.
Silly. Nigerian man.
The whole of Nigeria heard I called him silly.
Wow.
He called everybody.
Wow.
She called her there, her called me silly. Like, you're silly, you're being silly. And I was like, he kept arguing, you're being silly. Oh, he did not find it funny.
We are just coming from America. Fresh from America.
We have to wrap up. Let's take a few moments.
Okay, so Festus Akiboyewa says every romantic relationship needs quality investment for it to last. While there's no perfect marriage anywhere in the world, you're blessed if you have children because they can make your marriage flowery. Okay, I think you took that.
Victor says going into marriage requires a neutral mindset. Everything good in it is reciprocal. It's to be respect. Be it respect, love, humility, accountability in all.
Fidelis
it's not all about
Fidelis says modern women have a voice in their marriage, which often makes men mistakenly see it as lack of submission. Men must learn to understand this, unlike our parents in marriage.
Fantastic. That's good. We wrap up on that. Thank you, ladies. That's all we can take on the show today. Have a great day. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye for now.